India has become the world's biggest dumping ground for electronic waste. And much of it is processed and recycled manually, often by teenagers.
ऐसे खोलते हैं ना इसको तो ये लग जाता है और ये पत्ता जो है इसका ये सब लग जाता है हाथों में कभी कदार.
E-waste is full of toxic chemicals like lead, arsenic, and mercury. But there are also plenty of valuable materials like copper, platinum, and even gold. So why does so much of it end up in landfills? And why is recycling it such a risky business? Fourteen-year-old Gulzar starts his morning selling breakfast at his father's food cart. And after school, he heads to this dump to sort through e-waste.
इस काम में थोड़ा बहुत तो रिस्क है लेकिन करना पड़ता है मजबूरी में.
Most of India's electronic waste ends up in northeast Delhi's Seelampur neighborhood. Nearly 50,000 people dig through the trash here every day. Many of them are teenagers, all searching for old cell phones, computers, and video game controllers. Gulzar's hands are so damaged from years of prying them apart that his fingerprints have worn away.
जब मैंने पत्ता तोड़ना स्टार्ट करा था तब हाथ कटने लगे थे ना यहाँ पे तो मोबाइल जब फिंगरप्रिंट लगाता था चलता नहीं था मोबाइल खुलता नहीं था जल्दी.
Few have gloves or other safety equipment. The health risks are one of the reasons why Gulzar hasn't told his mother he still works here.
मम्मी कहती है काम मत करो पढ़ाई कर लो और नौकरी मिल जाएगी तुम्हें बढ़िया वाली.
Most of his friends also scavenge for a living, like Aleem, who stopped going to school because his father got tuberculosis 3 years ago. That's why his family sent him to work, even though he was just 16. Now, Aleem breaks down up to 150 of these phones every day.
ये होता है एक पत्ता मोबाइल का पत्ता जो इससे ऐसे अलग करना पड़ता है. ये होती बॉडी, ये होता पत्ता.
Old electronics have high levels of mercury, cadmium, and lead, which can harm the kidneys. But they also hold precious metals. Usually, Aleem can collect up to 11 pounds of mixed scrap, which he sells for $6 a day to a middleman at Ghaffar Market. It's famous for cheap electronics, and many e-waste devices are refurbished and sold here. Processing e-waste is complicated and expensive, even in facilities that have more structure and modern machinery.
They're not designed to be recycled. Many different chemical compounds all smashed together. When devices got smaller and smaller, removing whole components became less and less possible.
We visited one of the largest recyclers in the US back in 2021. At the time, Sims Lifecycle Services was processing up to 6 million pounds of electronics a month. Most of these old devices come from private companies like HP that ship it here. A chunk of the work is done by hand. Memory units, processors, screens, keyboards, and motherboards can all be reused. Workers clean them, check if they're working, and send them back into inventory to be sold again.
Sometimes when you can't sell a whole laptop, we can remove parts from it and either rebuild a laptop to sell or sell the parts.
Big hard drives pulled from computers or servers are another moneymaker. Any stored data has to be wiped before a drive can be resold.
We have a lot of banks and insurance companies as our clients, so you can well imagine that those folks want their data erased properly.
What couldn't be refurbished used to be sent to recycling. Workers would remove hazardous materials like batteries before sending the device to a shredder. Metals, circuit boards, and plastic were separated in that process and resold. But since we filmed with them, recycling has become their last resort, only to prevent materials from going to landfills. They're more focused on refurbishing devices to extend their lifespan. China, the US, and India are the biggest generators of e-waste. But only 17% of electronics discarded globally were recycled in 2019. Much of it is illegally shipped to developing countries, where it's sorted by informal workers. But they don't have the knowledge or the tools to safely handle it. So a lot of it ends up in landfills. Sustainability expert Panni Verma says that's contaminating the environment.
Air, water, soil, all three of them are getting badly affected.
Sometimes they burn the waste that they cannot resell.
This is going into the nostrils. It's leading to stunted growth in children. It's leading to miscarriages in women. It's leading to organ damage. It's leading to bone density loss.
And most electronics are coated in flame retardants that release poisonous gases when burned.
It's also affecting the human body. Skin diseases, different types of cancers, they are happening because of the contaminations.
The waste has also polluted water sources like the nearby Yamuna River.
They acid wash the motherboards to take out the metals, the precious metals, and then they just drain it into any kind of a water body.
With global e-waste expected to increase 38% by the end of the decade, India implemented new rules to regulate recycling facilities. But they don't impact informal workers. Nor do they address child labor in the industry. Children as young as 14 are allowed to work in India, but not in hazardous conditions like these.
It kind of has become a work of generations, one generation to next, to next, to next. There has to be talks of these young children working to go study.
But going to school is not an option for Aleem. His mother, Gulshan Bano, sells vegetables to get by.
जो मैं कमाती हूँ वो किराया चला जाता है, जो लड़का कमाता घर में खर्चा उठ जाता है, वो भी कभी पूरा होता कभी नहीं होता।
Aleem's friend Gulzar still goes to school.
पढ़ने में साइंस की किताब बहुत बढ़िया लगती है।
And he has dreams of a better life.
बड़े हो करके बन जाऊंगा पुलिस ऑफिसर ही।